19-year-old runs up on two unsuspecting people and sucker punches them in the back of the head.
Striking a man in the head from behind, Lewis appeared in court.
You tried to kill a man and you had a gun on you.
I shook his hand after and gave the man a hug.
He's that stupid.
Do you regret it?
Yes, I do.
Disgusting, reprehensible behavior has become the norm on social media. Pranksters are going around doing asinine things, sucker punching people, for instance. And today we're going to take a look at a young man who is facing criminal charges after attacking unsuspected individuals in public. Let's begin the video and take a look at this.
One of those social media pranks that is hardly funny.
A 19-year-old runs up on two unsuspecting people and sucker punches them in the back of the head.
Yeah, this happened in Cyprus, and the video, of course, getting a lot of attention with hundreds of comments and reactions. Tonight, our Jason Miles found and talked to the young man behind the stunt.
Look at this moron. And granted, he's just a talking head, so we got to go light on him. It's his job. The news anchors or the news publication, they're calling this a stunt. Now, again, you'll see in a second, this is a kid who's attacking people by punching them behind the head.
Well, he's regretful. Honestly, I didn't expect him to answer the door, much less come out and talk. But tonight he says he regrets the behavior so many are now condemning online.
Now, this anchor says that he's surprised that the kid would open the door, but this kid is the same person that will punch someone behind the head, film it, and put it online. He's that stupid. Obviously, he would be dumb enough to answer the door.
Not far from peaceful Wortham Park, where he's accused of randomly punching strangers. Do you regret it?
Yes, I do. I just made a mistake, and everybody makes mistakes.
This is the video in question. You can clearly see Lewis striking a man in the head from behind before he turns around in shock.
I know, like, from the video, all you see is like the bad part about it. What people didn't see was that I shook his hand after and how I had gave the man a hug.
What a load of What this young man did is he went up, he punched an unsuspected individual. He did it to two people behind the head. And if you're not aware, if you don't come from a combat sports background, hitting someone behind the head is literally the most dangerous spot in the head possible. I've seen people have seizures getting hit behind the head. I've seen a man die from hitting his head after falling from getting punched and knocked out in the street. It's incredibly dangerous. I shouldn't have to say that. This kid is punching people behind the head, and now he's trying to make a claim that he hugged them afterwards, which again, there's no actual proof that that ever happened. And also, it doesn't take away from the fact that you're still attacking human beings and punching them behind the head.
That is something we cannot verify, nor can we confirm that another man seen in the video getting punched and grabbed later left on good terms, according to Lewis.
I really didn't expect for it to just go so left, you know?
I told Lewis that law enforcement is investigating the incident. And your mom's probably disappointed.
Yeah, she is.
Look at his eyes. The eyes tell you everything. I'm big on body language, and the truth is you can see that he has about 2 neurons firing. He's an idiot. He's not an intelligent person. Don't know if it's genetics, don't know if it's upbringing, don't know what it is, but he doesn't have a high functioning brain. And oftentimes you can tell by watching how a person communicates. The way that they process language is oftentimes how their brain functions. So the same person that would go up behind an individual who's innocent and attack them for no reason is the same person that talks like a fucking moron, who's the same person that'll be dumb enough before he's even charged criminally to open the door to a reporter.
Lewis said the harsh reaction to the video will make him rethink his behavior and hopefully be a lesson for others.
Before you go out and you do anything that you feel is bad or that could look bad, make sure like people know, or just don't do it at all.
This guy has nothing going on behind the eyes. Listen, this grinds my gears. That's the reason I'm doing this video, is because I've seen an uptick in young men who don't have any guidance, who obviously come from shit households. And it doesn't mean you can't have a nice house. Obviously the kid lives in the suburbs here. He's not from fucking South Side Chicago here, but he still lacks the ability to know right from wrong. And it's because there is no proper guidance in American culture. These young men are doing horrific things in their spare time. We can think back to what happened a few months ago when those 2 young men ran over that innocent man in Las Vegas who was riding his bike on the side of the road. I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but it was very hard to watch. Despicable behavior. They're done. They're going to jail for life. But the point is, when you see a man do something like this, you're seeing a parallel. You're seeing behavior that's perpetuating itself on a consistent basis amongst young men. So I felt like this video was important to cover. Now, there's some other details about this particular case that I think warrant a little bit of covering. Did this kid have a gun or not? Let's take a look.
Minutes ago, we learned about the details to the crimes and his bond. Jason Miles has been following this story since Friday. He joins us now live from the courthouse downtown. Jason.
Poor Jason. He's like, why do I gotta cover this case? For God's God's sakes.
Well, prosecutors requested a $75,000 bond on just one of two charges this young man faces, but he ended up getting combined bond of $10,100.
That bond should be a lot higher. This is a 19-year-old adult. This isn't a 14-year-old who made a mistake, was abused as a child, and this is, playing out in his reality. This is a 19-year-old that has, almost a completely functioning brain, or at least he should. $75,000. Let's call a spade. What this kid did is attempted manslaughter. He hit a motherfucker behind the head. He did it to two people, and he's getting a $10,000 bond when he could have easily killed one of these individuals. Plus, he punches like a
19-year-old Alfred Lewis appeared in court just within the last half hour or so. Lewis charged with assault and aggravated robbery related to viral videos showing him sucker punching
attempted manslaughter.
Men walking in Wortham Park. That's up in the Cypress area. Turns out Lewis was also armed at the time, according to court records.
He didn't disclose that to the reporter for obvious reasons, but the also had a gun on him so that if someone were to turn back and try to fight him, for instance, right, to defend themselves, I'll tell you what would have happened. He would have pulled out his gun as a way to defend himself, because obviously he punches like a... He's stupid enough and cowardly enough to attack innocent people, so it's no surprise he'd be carrying a gun as well.
In this case, he initially held the complainant at gunpoint. Then, when the complainant refused to give up his cell phone, he hits the complainant in the head and puts him in a chokehold. The complainant advised he later saw videos of the crimes on social media.
He admitted to making a bad mistake, just making videos for views and clicks. His bond conditions include not having contact with his alleged accomplice, the 18-year-old who shot the videos. Lewis also to remain at home between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. He will also wear an ankle monitor. Again, his bond, combined bond for an assault and aggravated robbery charge, $10,100. He made no mention of a gun when I interviewed him on Friday, and at that point, I had not investigated the video thoroughly and was not aware that he was armed at the time.
Shame on you. You should have investigated. And shame on you guys for not liking this video. Now, I want you to watch closely how the news are skewing this and not quite victimizing the kid, but they're definitely cushioning the blow. He's not a kid, by the way. He's 19 years old. They refuse, and I don't know if it's just woke ideology, probably is, but listen, let's call a spade a spade. I don't care what your color is. You're a fucking piece of shit. You tried to kill a man and you had a gun on you. He admitted to making a bad mistake, and he obviously made one. I mean, these guys have so much guilt. I'm not saying him because he has bosses, but these people are pushing an agenda.
Some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias.
And I think it is my responsibility on some level to convey the truth behind this. This is a motherfucking man, regardless of your religion, your creed, your race. If you do something like that and you put another man's life at risk, there has to be ridiculously harsh repercussions, because you have to set an example out of that person. There's a lot of young kids that watch YouTube and feel like they're gonna get views and clicks from behaving like this. And a lot of the times they will get views and clicks as a result of punching people or being a complete nuisance in public. If we don't show them that that's not the right thing to do, then what's gonna stop them from doing it? Now, obviously, the person that was acting and throwing the punch had a friend that was with him that was filming it all, so luckily they found the kid.
Second person is in custody accused of filming the disturbing video of a friend punching people from behind at a Cypress area park, then posting it all on social media. 18-year-old Kingston Miker made his first appearance at probable cause court late last night.
And look, they all have that same haircut, that stupid and broccoli top with the fade on the side. It's just a nauseating look to begin with. Throw them under the prison. They're adults.
Miker is scheduled to be in court tomorrow on one of those charges. Meanwhile, Alfred Lewis
looking good in that orange jumpsuit. Let's keep him in that for a few years. Let's make sure that he never forgets what he did and he never does it again.
Appeared in court yesterday, and a judge agreed to raise his bail.
Obviously, as I said before, the youth of this generation are in a lot of ways, and I would say in worse ways than my generation, even because of social media. When you're validated and when you're given more money and more attention for committing crimes, you're going to do that. It's going to perpetuate itself. So as I always say, you know what my message is? It's to work on the self. I rarely get involved with big, slow-moving societal issues because I believe it all stems from the individual, and that's what my message is, and that's what I'll continue to preach. So these people and you watching this, if you struggle with anger, a bad childhood, or whatever it is that's making you continue commit crimes and do horrible things in your life, you have to fix yourself first. It's the only way to do it. If you guys are new here, I have a newsletter pinned down below. It's completely free, and the whole purpose of it is to help you with your habits and your discipline. I know from my own experience that when I didn't have a strong foundational compass to follow, things went awry in my personal life. So I've used my lessons, things I've learned in my life to help facilitate change for other people. And as I've said before, it's completely free. These kids need help. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching that may need help as well. So I wish you guys all the best. I hope we got some value out of this video. It wasn't as jovial and as silly as I typically try to entertain you guys, but sometimes these topics need to be covered. Strangle Gang, as always, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.